EA Sports. It's in the game.
I'm not in my school clothes. I know.
Welcome to Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. It's Sunday Night NBA, presented by ESPN on EA Sports, as we get set for the league's best between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. All right, as this game gets underway, Jeff, anybody that stands out in your mind that they need to focus on against the Warriors tonight?
You can't speak about Klay Thompson without mentioning Steph Curry. And likewise, you can't mention Steph Curry without talking about Klay Thompson. I see them as a tandem. Their play last year gives you pause to say, this is a special, special offensive backcourt.
Green against Love. Fakes the drive, but steps back. Green shot won't go. The Warriors coming off a tough loss in their previous game against Cleveland. Jeff, what turns your stomach the most?
One effort defense will not stand up over time. And that's what they gave in their last loss. They gave one effort defensively. So they did some good things, but then they stopped. It had to be multiple efforts. It's got to be one thing to the next. And that is so important when you're guarding the three. And because they made just that one effort, they gave up open three-pointer after open three-pointer, and it cost them.
Blows past his man, pulls up for the shot, misses that one.
That's the mark of a great defensive team. Great closeout, great contest. That's the way to get it done.
Puts it down.
Oh, look at the athleticism exploding up to finish with the hammer.
Jeff, Klay Thompson had that magical game last year when he had an NBA record, 37 points in a single quarter. Remember, he beat the record set by George Gervin and Carmelo Anthony. That was a special night.
It was incredible to watch. When you look back at the 9 three-point shots that he got, there was only one lucky bounce. I mean, he was so pure in that quarter. I wish I was there to enjoy it with the Oracle crowd.
Love's trying to establish some low post position. Under pressure. Nice touch at the basket. And Steve Kerr with the timeout very early here in the first.
The coach could see the run was impacting the game. A solid timeout to break the momentum.
Participating Bunsville Burgers Restaurant for a 10% discount on your meal. Bunsville Burgers.
Green against Love. Adjusting in the air, unable to flip it home.
Driving the ball into the paint is the most important offensive tool in the game. He had a great look, he just missed it.
Won't go.
Come on, Dion. Come on, Deani, man. I had to, bro. I had to, bro. So you can't judge me on that. I got the chains out so they can get 9. All right, homie. Watch this. No!
And they can't extend the lead into double
Never
figures.
mind.
It's
Never
a
mind,
first half
Deani.
lead. You have to set the tone defensively, and all they're doing is hoping the other team misses.
And here's another look at that three-pointer. A long three-pointer. Bogut the rebound. He's averaging 6 boards per game this season.
We're seeing a lot.
Puts it down.
I love the way they're not complicating the game. Get the ball near the basket and then finish with strength.
Jeff, remember we were talking about Klay Thompson's 37 points in the single quarter. Imagine if there was a three-point line when George Gervin was playing. How many would he have scored on a given night?
Yeah, and I think George Gervin has a legitimate beef, Mike. He said, hey, I scored the 33 points without the benefit of the three-point line. It makes you think, do all these records need to have an asterisk next to them? When you talk about the three-point line, the scoring leaders, all of these things to me have been changed and will continue to change because of the impact of the three-point shot.
Can't hit from three-point range.
Golden State's just not set the right tone defensively. They're getting absolutely obliterated on that end of the floor.
Steph Curry's been the MVP candidate, but Klay Thompson, sometimes he gets overshadowed on how many things he does for this team, Jeff.
You can make a strong argument that Klay Thompson is the best two-guard in the league when you factor in his defensive ability. He is so improved defensively from when he first came into the league to now. He can guard point guards. We've seen him match up in the playoffs with Chris Paul. You can see him taking threes. He can lock down twos. I don't think Klay Thompson will ever get his just due because defense is far too often overlooked.
James on the drive to the reverse. That's a 2, and it's a 6-point lead for the Cavs.
Look, you can't give up layups like that. You got to protect the basket and the paint at all costs.
From downtown, Curry's attempt for 3. No good. Curry for 2. Not that time.
Golden State's not having the kind of offensive consistency you need to win in this league. They just can't seem to get into a rhythm.
Cleveland Cavaliers having another great season, Jeff. You know, as long as LeBron James is on that roster, they have a chance at a title.
Absolutely. You saw it last year, even without Kyrie.
Jelani, you cannot do that.
Why?
Baby.
What?
He's a therapy dog. You can't scream like that. You're going to turn him into a vicious animal. Don't do that. He's going to have to leave if it's going to be like that.
Okay.
Go on. Get your undies.
Sure. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Dude, I'm not playing with you. If you hit me in my face, I'm gonna crack on you. The ugly ones.
Real.
I'm gonna put it on computer.
Get it on. Fine.
No,
Kevin Love, they took the Golden State Warriors to 6 games. He didn't play efficiently, but he played unbelievably well in that final series. And with him, his team will always be a favorite to win a championship.
Jeff Smith won the NBA's 6th Man of the Year award with the Knicks 2013. First Knick to win the award since your guy, John Starks, in '97. When Smith is right, he's a heck of a player.
He is. Oftentimes we focus on his antics versus his game. But when he is playing at his high point, he's obviously a dynamic shot maker, but he's also a good passer. And I think that gets overlooked. This guy's a good NBA player. Unfortunately, we don't talk enough about his game.
To Love. He's averaging 16 points per game this season. Jeff, we spoke earlier about Klay Thompson being underrated. Reminds you a little bit like Scottie Pippen playing under the shadow of Jordan, or James Worthy under the shadow of Magic.
Are you kidding, Mike? Did you just compare Steph Curry to Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson? Is that what just happened here? Are you kidding me?
He's one of the best shooters we've ever seen. Why not?
Hey, message to Mike. They dominated over a long period of time. Stop the nonsense.
And a timeout is called. What's the thinking here?
When you see the full timeout being taken, oftentimes staffs get together away from their teams to do a number of things. One is to discuss necessary strategy adjustments. Maybe they're discussing matchup adjustments. And sometimes the head coach is just complaining about the players who are in the game at that moment. And as an assistant coach, your job is to nod your head. Yes, up and down vigorously, like you understand the pain that the head coach is going through at that moment. Sometimes it is that simple. The team needs to refocus. The coach has to do it at a timeout. He can't get it done on the fly on the floor. He's the real deal. He can shoot it deep. He can drive with an array of finishes and floaters. And then he is an outstanding passer, particularly in pick and roll situations.
Coach is going to make some changes on the floor.
Substitutions, Golden State.
Curry against Irving. Iguodala. Three-point attempt. And they miss another one. Haven't been able to score now in over 3 minutes. James against Curry. For the layup. It's good. And they extend the lead to double figures.
He got a hand in his face, but had no impact on the shot. Nice two-point jumper.
Making the defense work with excellent ball movement. Iguodala. Lots of room there.